you've been doing your prayers, and you've been doing a lot of them. You've been putting so much time into the repetition, you've been refining them so many times so that God would understand you better. You've been praying for good grades, or for more money, or for better relationships, and yet nothing is changing. And this is all because there is one metaphysical truth that no one has told you before that will make all the difference. Right now, you see prayer in the definition of the exoteric version, which means the outer circle, instead of the esoteric definition, which means the inner circle. So the definition that was, as you could have already guessed, yeah, meant for a specific majority of people that I don't want to say controls the world, but you get what I mean. The exoteric is meant for the masses, and the esoteric is meant for a certain type of people. And so, the esoteric definition of prayer is a mental declaration. That's right. It is not wishing for something to happen, like there's some kind of an entity sitting somewhere up in the sky that is separate from you and wishing that it brings, better and better life for you. No, it is a mental declaration that you already have what it is that you want. I'm gonna say that again. It is declaring that you already have mentally and emotionally what it is that you want. Because I'm not sure if you realize this, but you are the physical materialization of God. And when I say God, I don't mean some kind of an entity sitting somewhere in the sky, having anger tantrums. No, I mean the physical materialization of the infinite. When I say God, I mean the infinite consciousness that creates this entire universe. It is basically our creator. And since we are the perfect embodiment of our infinite creator, that means we share and we have an aspect of this infinite creator within us, which is our imagination and our emotions. And we can use these things to perpetuate any kind of people, condition, circumstance, timing, or event into our life. That's why whatever you find normal, whatever you basically accept that it is over here, is here. Like, for example, this table. I don't need to pray for it. I don't need to, you know, immerse myself into, wanting it. I don't need to do 1,000 prayers in order to get it because it is already here right now. And this is the trick that the world has played on you. It has gotten you to play the game backwards, but when you truly realize it, everything is already yours. You just need to tune into it. That reality that you so desire, where you have the more money, where you have, the relationship, where you have the better grades, anything, it's already within you. You already have everything that you want. You already have the tools necessary to get there within you. All you need to do is just adopt the mental and emotional state that you would feel in that reality where you already have it. So, for example, like I already said, this table right over here, I don't feel anything towards it. And the predominant thought that I have about it is that, oh yeah, it's just here. Like wherever I and whenever I pass around it, it will always be here, no matter what. No questions asked. It is already here. And so the only reason why you want something is because you don't have it right now. We were once a part of the infinite, before we incarnated into this physical plane. And so now we're experiencing separation. But before this incarnation, we were one with the infinite. And so the desires that we have are are nothing more than a feeble attempt of us trying to feel whole again. But what you don't realize is that you already have everything within you, because we as humans, we exist on three planes of existence. There's the mental plane, the spiritual plane, and the physical plane. The mental plane is basically any kind of thought, idea, conviction, belief that you can come up with. The spiritual plane is where your emotions reside, which is the strongest energetic source in this entire universe. which when you combine the right mental and emotional state, you can attract any kind of reality into your own life, and the physical plane is, without any explanation, everything that you can perceive with your 5 physical senses. That's right. And before we continue any further, I want to be real with you for a second, because I know that at least 50% of the people watching this video, I know exactly what kind of people you are. You think that you can just sit on your couch and visualize every single day, without taking any kind of action. No. Like I already said, we exist on 3 planes of existence, and the only way that the physical plane can change is through physical action. But, and here's a very important but, if you don't have the right mental and emotional state, which basically is your self-concept, your state of consciousness, your imagination, frequency, your energy, whatever you want to call it. When you take action, but you're in the wrong frequency, then you will always end up in the wrong reality. Remember this. And this is why your prayers haven't been working at all. Yes, you might have been doing the action, you might have been, doing the online business work. You've been approaching more girls, for example. You've been, I don't know, studying more. But if you have the mental and emotional state of someone who wants those results, thus implying to the universe that you don't have it, then even the action that you take was, for example, writing the result, or for example, talking to that woman, or recording those videos, or whatever it is that you want, will not get you to that reality. Because the universe, well, so to a certain extent, of course, it does care about the physical action that you take, but most importantly, it cares about the mental and emotional state that you embody whilst you are doing that action in the first place. That's why you can see 2 people having the same business model, but one of them, even though he might not be as skilled as the other one, makes like 10 times more money than his more skilled, opponent, we can say, than his more skilled colleague. This is how it works, because in this universe, you can only have what you already have. That is the annoying law of the universe, because the universe is quite literally you. That's why it's called the universe. And if you want me to to prove this to you, either through science, like through the observer experiment, or through Bible texts such as "on earth as it is in heaven," keep in mind, we're breaking this down esoterically and not exoterically. We're not taking the Bible literally right now. We're breaking it down metaphysically through the real truth, which is that the universe reacts to you and not the other way around. And when I say reacts to you, I mean your mental and emotional state. Of course, then with the physical action, so that the physical world can change in the first place. But most importantly, what I'm trying to say right now is prayer is not pleading for some kind of a entity sitting somewhere in the sky that you want a certain life. It is a mental declaration. It has nothing to do with words. It is all about adopting the mental and emotional state of what it is that you so desire. It is about getting your subconscious mind to accept this new identity of yours. Because you already have everything that you need to desire your desired reality, to materialize your desired reality within you. All you need to do is just tune yourself to the right mental and emotional state of what it is that you want. So, for example, if it is a certain milestone in money, then just look at how you treat the amount of money that you're making right now. You treat it like nothing. You don't feel anything towards it. And your most dominant thought about it is that, oh yeah, I just insert your own milestone of money. You understand what I'm trying to say? You feel nothing towards it. And that's why it is important that you get into a deep meditative state where your subconscious mind is brought forward so that your conscious mind dissipates and so that you can basically seduce your subconscious mind more easily with the right mental and emotional state of what it is that you so desire. Because once it gets into your subconscious mind, yeah, it will do wonders because your reality is created from your subconscious mind. We can say it like that. And your subconscious mind is, we can say, programmed by emotions. And so, since, yeah, we can say that you manifest all the time because you don't just manifest consciously, you'll manifest all the time subconsciously also. And like I said, you need to really ask yourself what kind of a position is that version of me mentally and emotionally. Just really think about it. What kind of thoughts does that version of me think all the time? And what kind of emotions does that version of me feel also? Just really think about that for a second. And then, once you go and normalize it into your subconscious mind through getting into a deeply meditative state, which helps too, where you completely relax and you can go completely into the internal world and you make a scene where someone that you love is acknowledging what it is that you desire that has already materialized itself, and you loop it over and over and over again, and that creates, emotion, which then implies to your subconscious mind that it is already materialized, and since you can only have what you already have, then consciously and subconsciously that will output a frequency, we can call it, into the universe, which will then slowly but surely start to reform it, because once you're in the right frequency, the right practicality will follow also. But remember, it is frequency first and action second. Like I gave you that example. You can have the right business model. You can do quite literally the exact same funnel as someone else is doing that is making like 100K per month. But if you don't have the right frequency of someone that is making 100K per month, the right mental and emotional state, the right self concept, the right imagination, state of mind, if you don't have the right frequency of that person, then you will be making whatever you're making right now. And that's how you don't get your prayers ignored ever again. This is how you can have them always heard, because you've always had them heard, whether you realize it or not. But you just weren't aware of what you were telling into the universe. And that's deep, because no one ever taught you this. No one ever taught you that the universe responds to you instead of the other way around, right? And that's why I gave you the entire esoteric definition of prayer instead of the exoteric definition. So now that you can take hold of your reality, because you've always had, you just weren't aware of the control, you just weren't aware that the universe is quite literally you. You were always seeing a separation between you and it, even though you both are one. And yeah, that's a discussion for a whole another video. But yeah, this whole entire game is basically about convincing your subconscious mind, which is primarily programmed by your emotion. So that's why you need to guard your mental and emotional state and not letting the outside world change it. And yeah, that's about it. That's how you can always have your prayers heard, even though they are always being heard. But right now, you can finally do it with the awareness that the universe responds to you instead of the other way around. And of course, don't forget to take physical action, because that is important too. Remember, 3 planes of existence. The only way that the physical plane can change is by physical action. But, and a very big but, you need to first have the mental and emotional state of that version of you that already has what it is that you desire. But only you can do that. So extrapolate that to whatever that you desire. And by the way, if you're more interested about manifestation, and if you feel like there's hidden potential inside of you that you haven't been able to unleash until this point, then you can check out my timeless reader's mindsets in the description. But if that's not you, then skip it and make sure to take action on this video. And yeah, go make yourself proud. Have a nice rest of your day.